Hey Scorpio, this is Michael with your May 2022 reading. I am sending you lots of love and energy as we are going through this month. As you may or may not be aware, we actually do have a lunar eclipse in your sign on the 16th. This is a total lunar eclipse, and it is very much about releasing anything that is negative or heavy and that can potentially bring up these sorts of heavy or negative emotions or energies. And with this happening in your sign, I really want you to be gentle with yourself this month, okay? I do already have your cards pulled and on the table here, and I'm very eager to dive in. But before we do that, I just have a couple of things, a bit of housekeeping before we dive in. Firstly, I want to thank all of you who have supported this channel with your likes, shares, comments, and subscribes. It's with all of your support that I'm able to continue putting out these messages and doing these monthly readings. So thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. And an extra special thank you to all of my patrons on Patreon. I'm actually offering exclusive live streams, weekly energy updates, as well as all of my astrology notes for these videos. So if any of that sounds interesting to you, definitely check out my Patreon and consider supporting the channel. And finally, I do also have a 15% off sale on my website, all of my readings and Reiki sessions. You can get that discount until May 16th, the day of the eclipse, or through May 16th until midnight. So definitely snag that up if you want to get a reading or Reiki session with me. Do that soon. And yeah, I have all of my links in the description box down below. Anyway, Scorpio, the first card I pulled for you was the Knight of Pentacles. And I feel like you've been working very hard on something. There's been a lot of focus on you doing what you needed to do. Your efforts feel very earnest, and I want to tell you that. I feel like you've worked very earnestly towards something. I do kind of get like work vibe with this, to be honest, or just something that has to do with practical or material affairs. You actually have quite a bit of pentacles in the first part of your spread. We'll cover those in a moment. But the Knight of Pentacles is someone who's kind of working methodically, slow and steady, but whatever progress is made is supposed to build on a foundation. And I say supposed to because we have the Nine of Coins in reverse with the King of Pentacles or King of Coins in reverse. And this is kind of coming up as clarity or things that you have learned from the past that is helping you move towards the future or guide you in the future, guide you through this month, I should say. I'm not gonna lie, I don't love that for you. I really don't. Because it just doesn't feel fair. That's kind of the feeling I'm getting, and maybe it doesn't feel fair to you. Maybe I'm picking up on your energy. Something just doesn't feel fair. And we have some interesting energy at the end of April because we do have Pluto, one of your ruling planets, going retrograde in the sign of Capricorn. And there may be a lot of reflection that is happening right now, a lot of sorting through thoughts and ideas specifically, and the way you communicate, the way you kind of move through your immediate surroundings. That's because that's what Capricorn energy represents for you. It's your third house. And we do also have Mars in the sign of Pisces. Now, Mars isn't technically in its fall or detriment in the sign of Pisces, but it's kind of a weird place for it too. And this is your other ruling planet. With Mars in Pisces, there really has been a focus on doing something that you love and potentially something creative. I could also see this as passion, romance potentially, but I get more of like, I feel like the group I'm connecting with, you have this passion that you're either trying to make a career or it is your career, but it feels like all the energy that you've put in towards something hasn't been working. And we do actually have the Eight of Pentacles here as well. And you know what? What I'm actually kind of getting here for some of you, it's not even that you haven't earned a lot of money or you haven't gained stability. You've just been so invested in your work or almost distracting yourself with work That's kind of what I'm getting for some of you. Again, this is a general reading, so not all of these messages apply. Just kind of take in what resonates for you and leave the rest behind for somebody else. We do also have the Seven of Coins at the bottom of the deck here. I am noticing this as well. And this is about spending our long-term energy and investments, our resources, taking stock of things. You're very reflective right now. And we do have the eclipse in your sign as well. So this might even be affecting the way that you relate to yourself or the way you think of yourself. Especially if you do identify as some sort of role or career or what you kind of perform as. And there might be something that is kind of breaking you away from this. And I feel like it's interesting that we have the Nine of Pentacles, Eight of Pentacles, and even the Seven of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck here. There's a lot of Virgo energy on the table. That is something that's coming to me pretty clearly with the 8, 9, and Knight of Pentacles or coins. So that's interesting. Maybe there's Virgo energy in your chart. There's a Virgo in your life. But it feels like there's just this energy of someone working very hard, and it's either not paying out or paying off, or it's paying off, but it's a distraction. Like there's something about working too much. That's kind of the gist of that. And I have the Ace of Cups as sort of a change or a challenge. And there's something about, again, that's where I kind of felt like there's something about maybe hiding from your emotions with work. Or by keeping yourself busy, working on stuff, focusing on the material things, the things you can control. We have Mercury going retrograde in the middle of this month. We have an eclipse in your sign. This honestly just isn't a great time to have control over our lives or to feel like we have control over our lives. I realize not everyone likes that sort of messaging or likes that sort of phrasing, but, I think it really is just like the eclipses are this time where we are coming into alignment with something greater than our ego. And that often causes tension for us as incarnate humans. And so there is this really intense energy here, and it's like something just doesn't feel worth it anymore with the Eight of Coins. And what I'm really getting kind of from at the heart of this, we are in your season of relationships with Taurus season. And we have a Taurus eclipse at the end of May, or had an eclipse at the end of May in Taurus. And so much of this year, I've been saying this in your readings, and I said this in the year ahead readings or the horoscopes I have in my blog. All of that's linked below. You can find it on my website. This year really has been about you stepping out of your comfort zone and being more vulnerable to allow relationships to be more connective, to deepen connections with others. And I really see that with the Ace of Cups. And it's so funny. Scorpio, it's like there was literally 2 months, I think it was February and March or February and January, where I did this reading for you, and the videos were almost the same exact title. And it was in this theme again of like needing to be more open, needing to open your heart. And I feel like at this point you must be so sick of me saying this if you've been following these videos and following my readings. And it's just like the way that this is different this month is like, I feel like you've been working really hard because on some level you don't feel lovable. Or you feel like you aren't established enough to feel lovable. And I feel like there's something that's about to change with this. We do have the Three of Cups in the future in reverse, and this was clarified or came out with the Wheel of Fortune and the Knight of Cups. Interesting energy here. I really like the Wheel of Fortune and Knight of Cups for you. We'll talk about that in a moment. But the Three of Cups or Three of Chalices in reverse. I'm going to be blunt. I feel like there's almost this situation that comes up this month. It kind of does feel like a third party situation. But I don't think that's what it is. I almost get the sense that it's like you see everyone else connecting around you, and it might even be something like an ex or a person from the past is in a relationship now, and that's bringing up all sorts of feelings for you, or bringing up feelings of inadequacy, or being like, why do I not have this? Why do other people have this sort of connection? I've done all of this work, I've done all of these things. Why have I not had the life I've wanted to have, or the relationships I've wanted to have? Maybe this isn't even romantic. Maybe this is just about relationships in general and connection in general. But I do kind of get a romantic bent with the cards and with the astrology this month. I think that's going to be more dominant for this group. But it could have to do with friends. It could have to do with family. It could just have to do with feeling like you don't belong or you don't have connections. And there's this part of you that's always trying to be, like the king of coins, just really put together, this provider, this really stable figure, this really stable and secure person. And it's interesting. It's like you're not able to manifest that, you're not able to become that, because it's ultimately coming from a place of inadequacy. And energetically, these two states are very different. Even if on one level you are performing in a specific way, that performance is being fed by not being good enough, not feeling like your life is where it should be. So even though you're putting in the work, the energy isn't actually a match to the outcome that you want, at least at the start of this month. And I think there's something here that's shifting around this eclipse in the middle of the month. But then there is this potential for new love or new energy, new emotions with the Wheel of Fortune and the Knight of Cups. And this almost feels like taking a chance on love. If I were to just boil this down, I feel like some of you have been very withdrawn, or you haven't been very social. I'm actually even feeling like some of you may have even been like against dating apps or going out. Like you haven't really been putting yourself out there, but you've been wanting a relationship or wanting to connect. This is if you're single. And if you are in a relationship, I could actually see this as you and your partner kind of being closed off to other people. And it feels like you're opening yourself up, going back out into the world. And sometimes that happens with like new relationships in particular, where it's like you're kind of just so invested in the relationship, all the other relationships, everything else kind of loses priority. It feels like there's something shifting here, and it actually helps you grow closer together. And I like the Wheel of Fortune. This is Jupiter energy. And Jupiter is actually entering into Mars, or entering into Aries, but it will be forming in conjunction with Mars in Aries. And if you remember me saying, Mars is one of your ruling planets. And in Aries, where does that fall for you? That has to do with routines. That has to do with health. That has to do with habits. There's something that's shifting there, that's healing there. And I think it's having more aligned habits, having more loving habits, where it's not about shaming yourself into being a specific way or being successful. There's more love in your routine. There's more love in the way that you're handling yourself. And Mars is very happy in the sign of Aries. And it's interesting because maybe this is sort of like your hard work finally pays off. I could actually see that as that sort of energy with Mars and Jupiter in your 6th house, in the sign of Aries. But something shifts with that. It doesn't come until something shifts. I can also sort of see the Three of Cups as like something finally happens. You finally do have the thing that you want. You get the outcome that you want, but it feels like it's not the celebration that you thought it would be. It's not the party you thought it would be. And with all of this Gemini energy, Mercury going retrograde in Gemini, entering into Gemini season by the end of May, and Mercury even retrogrades into Taurus again, which has to do with your relationships and the way you think about relationships and review relationships. All of that Gemini Taurus energy, it really is letting some skeletons out of your closet. And releasing old habits that aren't serving you anymore. And it feels like it has to do with work or productivity, actually, which is interesting. It's like you don't trust yourself to work hard enough or create something that you want to create until something shifts at the end of this month, or you just allow yourself to shift. And I feel like you need to accept other people's help. Honestly, I think that's something that's kind of coming in as well. And needing to accept that. I'm going to pull an animal card for you now, too. What is the animal wisdom? We have dolphin. Beautiful. Love, love, love this energy. I feel like there is actually a soulmate that could be coming into your life. And this doesn't even have to be romantic. And I think people hear soulmate and we kind of put a fairy tale around that. I'm not using that term in this way. It's just someone who is a kindred spirit. Someone who is very important for you to meet and have in your life, whether that is for the rest of your life or just for a chapter. But it feels like there is this like-minded spirit. And there's finding this joy. There's finding this playfulness again. There's finding this zest for life. And dolphin is also very intuitive. It has this echolocation, this sort of sonar. And you're finding your way again. And there's a lot of joy in this energy. There's a lot of light. And this energy, when it comes up in a reading, it can often indicate someone who's very gifted, either spiritually or creatively. And it's very easy for this person to overlook what it is that they give to the world or what they have to offer others. And really bringing this energy into balance, it's important that you spend time with like-minded spirits or a kindred spirit. And I see the Wheel of Fate and the Knight of Cups. It feels like, honestly, there is kind of a faded romance that is coming in. And it's not about you. It's like you feel like you're not ready until your life looks a specific way. Even if you want a relationship or even if you're in a relationship, maybe you're in the relationship and it feels like you need to be acting a certain way all the time or you need to present a certain way all the time. It's okay to let that down. It's okay to expose yourself. It's okay to be more vulnerable. So relationships are really asking you to be more vulnerable. I know it's not a new message for you, Scorpio. Just being a Scorpio, you've probably read or heard that online somewhere. If you've been watching my readings, that's come up a lot. But, you know, it's the message of you, or message for you of this year. Raccoon. This is so interesting. Wearing the mask, obviously. Raccoon is very gifted with the hands, works very hard. And sometimes this card shows up when there is this sort of ego crisis, where you might have become so identified with one role or one skill or one relationship that you've not really tried new things or diversified. So sometimes when this comes up, it's like you need to try something different. You need to get crafty. You need to get creative. And Raccoon definitely has that innovative spirit to it as well. I feel like there is actually something creative some of you have been wanting to work on. We have a bunch of Pisces energy this month still. We have Neptune and Jupiter in Pisces, and we do have Vesta entering Pisces as well, which is an asteroid. And Mars will also be in Pisces until like... let me see, I actually have all of my notes down here, until the 24th. So there's a lot about you creating things. There's a lot about you putting out energy, sharing yourself creatively. If this isn't about relationships, maybe this is kind of this like artistic block. Like you don't want to show your work or show your creations or share your ideas or share your intuitions with people. That might also be something too. If it's not about love or romance or a personal relationship, maybe this is just you needing to share yourself more vulnerably, maybe even in your workplace or with your profession or with your career. Really kind of open up, share your struggles, share your story, share your vision, share this new idea. I think it actually has the potential to take you somewhere. But it requires you to do things a little bit differently than you've been doing them. And I feel like you've been working really hard, or you've done something. You've been in this way of operating where it's like, if I just keep working this way, if I just keep doing this, if I just keep up this routine or keep working on myself, then eventually something has to change, right? And it's like, no, the thing that has to change is the relationship with yourself. And how you allow yourself to connect with people, or maybe how you deprive yourself of that. And I'm feeling a sense of completion with that message. I feel like that is it for this month. Scorpio, I hope that this was helpful for you. Be sure to hit like and subscribe. Again, all of my links are in the description box down below. If you want to snag a reading or Reiki session with me while they're on sale, that is good through the 16th. And I will see you all in the next video. If you want to check out maybe another video for your rising or moon sign, maybe there's another message for you there, or if this one didn't resonate, maybe the reading for you this month is going to be a different video. You're welcome to check those out too, and those will be on screen in just a moment. I will see you all in the next video. Take care, Scorpio. Have a happy May.